I'm going to break in here really quickly to talk about our sponsor. I know you've heard me mention Anchor.fm before. It's by far the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain really quickly. It's free. You don't have to have any experience in advance to do it. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. They're going to distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many other more, Google Podcasts, pretty much any place you can look for a podcast. And you can even make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So what are you waiting for? Go download the free Anchor app on the App Store or go to anchor.fm to get started.
What you are about to hear are accounts of real pro wrestling events. Some names, mostly ours, have been changed to protect the innocent. Welcome to Snap Judgments.
NXT goes in your house. Worst Matt Riddle loss of all time. Best Matt Riddle win of all time. This is Snap Judgments for NXT May 13th, 2020. It's a Wednesday, of course. Going up head-to-head with AEW. I don't know how AEW's show was, but I can tell you right now, this is not at all the best NXT I have seen. We're going to start off with what I'm talking about with Matt Riddle, because he starts off losing the titles. That's right, Matt Riddle loses the titles. So they start off with the tag team match against Eichner and Barthel of Imperium. Matt Riddle has a accidental bump on Timothy Thatcher. Thatcher overreacts, leaves. Matt Riddle is left in the ring, and we get the best loss he's ever had because he just gets obliterated by Imperium. If any of you have listened to me before, you know that I entirely respect Matt Riddle's performance ability, and so I love him in the ring. I cannot stand his character. And so I hate him outside the ring. So anytime he's in the ring, I kind of root for him to lose a little bit. That's just me. It's not all y'all. I mean, if you guys want to love him, that's fine. If you love the, bro thing, that's cool. I'm not a giant fan of bro. That's probably the most redeeming part of his character. But I love Imperium, who they've been through all of their time in NXT, whether it's Walter, whether it's Eichner, Barthel, any of them. I am really, really excited for War Games this year because I'm pretty sure it's going to be Imperium versus, Imperium versus Undisputed Era. Sorry, I am a little bit tired right now. Imperial took control. Like I said, Riddle accidentally knocked Thatcher off. Thatcher leaves, and we see new tag team champions. Because Matt Riddle can't handle a 2-on-1 against a really great tag team, which is fine. I feel crappy about this for one person, and I feel crappy about it for the Broserweight. I don't know. Like, the Bruiserweight, sorry. See, I'm so used to calling them by their tag team name. So I do feel crappy because obviously didn't lose the titles. I can't wait for Imperium to be fully united in wherever they're going to be united. This was an okay match. He's Thatcher's sound. Like, he's a really good wrestler. And Matt Riddle is enjoyable in the ring. obviously all of Imperium's tag work is gold. So I mean, it's a sound match. It's an okay match. I like that they've moved the titles. I've said it numerous times. I don't think leaving the titles in one spot does anything but elevate the person in that spot. I don't think it elevates the title itself. Here's looking at you, Jinder Mahal, on the main roster. But all in all, I mean, it was a good match to get going. It also set up the main event, which I don't know how I feel about it. Like you could have advertised for next week and you could have put something else in here. You could have maybe had a longer Finn Balor, Cameron Grimes match, whatever it may be. This is an okay match though. And Riddle looks good even though he got his butt kicked. I just enjoy that Matt Riddle lost, and I don't like that he looked good doing it. So I guess there's that. We'll move on though, because you guys know how I feel about Riddle. We have Indy Hartwell versus Tegan Nox. I think finally they're moving towards this Tegan Dakota Kai match that's bound to happen at some point. I really, really enjoy Tegan Nox more than I did before when she was pals with Dakota. So I don't know what it is about Tegan Nox, but I think she just does some really good work. I do think that they made Indy look a little better than they expected. But it's her debut. She's gonna take the loss. You come in on your back, go out on your back, with the exception of like Killer Cross and whatnot, Karrion Cross and whatnot last week. But he got props beforehand. I don't know. If I think they could have gone longer with this. I've read some stuff that other people don't think they should have gone this long, but I enjoyed this match. I really thought it was good. I do think that Nox is getting a push towards the main event of the women's division, so maybe a more of a squad. I don't know. This was a good match though. Really, really good match. And Tegan looked great, and what's her name? Indy Hartwell? Yeah, Indy Hartwell. I thought it was Indy. She didn't look bad by any means. She'll get to that point. Yes, Tegan Nox won with the shiniest wizard, so good match. Good second match, especially because the second matches are typically the low match. So yeah, not a bad match. Then we get to the Cruiserweight Championship. I will flat out say this will be the worst week in Cruiserweight Championship. I didn't know which matches they were going to do this week. I was fairly certain they were going to hold off on Tozawa this week, mostly because he wrestled on Monday, and then also Tozawa is, I think he's coming out of that bracket 2-0. The only reason, or 3-0, the only reason they don't is if they're going to do 3-1 or 2-1s across the board. And if they're doing 2-1s across the board, they mess it up later on. So, but I think for some reason that they're going to go 2-1s. That Tozawa's coming out of that, and then I think there might actually be 3 2-1s on the other side. Tony Nese was taking on Jake Atlas here. This was a Nese Place spoiler. Jake Atlas win to stay in match. Atlas gets the win. I do like his cartwheel DDT. It's growing on me. Atlas is growing on me. He's still very fake babyface. And so I don't like fake babies. I'm Drake Maverick's biggest fan. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it was meh. That's how I feel about Jake Atlas. Just meh. I wish there was more of a character there, I guess. But Nese does take the loss to Jake Atlas. That cartwheel DDT is very cool. He's enjoyable to watch. He really is. Nice is, again, the best heel in this tournament, but I just don't see him as that believable for a heel. And he's 0-3 here, so now he's out. It's okay. He plays a part, and when that time comes, he'll definitely be that part. Then we come on to Finn Balor versus Cameron Grimes. You might have heard me earlier. I hope you were listening. Balor and Grimes, in terms of a match, should have been longer than this. I do feel like WWE has found a formula temporarily, but what happens in WWE is frequently when they find a formula that works a little bit for these big name matches, we get them over that same formula over and over and over, and I think that's what we got here. Cameron Grimes looked pretty dominant throughout this. Of course, Grimes did what he did in the week before and went for the cave-in right away. Then he goes for it right away again. Balor, of course, dodges it and starts actually creating some action here. Grimes dominated most of this match. And then Balor started dominating quite a bit. And then Damian Priest came out as the person who attacked Balor. I will flat out say, I don't know what happened to Balor versus Walter. I don't know why they can't just have this be a talk-up and Balor's getting warm-ups and stuff. I really thought the attack was supposed to be Walter or the other members of Imperium. I think they could have done that. They did not do that. And so it turns out Damian Priest is the one who attacked Balor. As though he didn't just have an amazing showing against Keith Lee, an amazing showing against Dominik Dijakovic, an amazing triple threat match. I mean, the dude's there. So I don't think you have to have him faux attack Balor. Maybe even a faux attacking the Undisputed Era would be a better move. Sorry, I had to take a drink. So obviously him attacking Balor happened behind the ref's back. Takes out Balor's left knee with the nightstick. Balor gets back into the ring. Grimes manages to hit the cave-in, which is a coup de grace, not from the top rope. Actually hits Balor on the back of his shoulders as he's getting up, and then Balor manages to flip backwards very hard and sell this, and it was very good bump taking by Balor. So that needs some serious thumbs up here. And then, of course, Grimes gets the win. At that point, Grimes gets out, just going, oh yeah, I won. And it was dirty cheap win, and that's fine. Damian Priest comes back to the ring with a steel chair and the nightstick. Hits the crossroads, or whatever he calls it. It's the crossroads, and Cody does it better. That's the only props you're going to hear to AEW from me. Onto that said steel chair, and then puts the steel chair over Balor and starts, basically saying, yeah, I was the one that attacked you. I want my name to live forever. All that jazz. I like Cameron Grimes. I liked the match. I liked his setups. I like Balor right now. And I didn't understand where they were going with this match last week. Both of them look good. And the interference does sell something. I just don't... I'm frustrated. Anytime Balor comes out, whether it was to face Velveteen Dream, whether it was, which ended up being the attack, whether it's Cameron Grimes, whatever it may be, anytime he comes out, I'm pissed off that I don't get the Walter match. And I understand, COVID-19, man, I get it. You gotta, if WWE is so bad at writing long storylines, when they have one written and it gets messed up, they're like, it's not a long storyline, so It's not long enough. It can be long enough, though. You can do a little bit longer matches on these shows. You can give us more of certain things. I don't remember if this is where there was only 2 promos worth noting. There were other promos on the show, but I didn't really enjoy any of the others, and I'm not going to harp on them. But since I did say promo, I'm going to go ahead and take a break here and remind you guys, tweet this episode. Tweet this episode with the hashtag Raw and Order WBU. Get entered to win 2 t-shirts. You do that and tag your favorite indie wrestler or your favorite wrestler. As far as I'm concerned, it can be a WWE wrestler. Smarks doesn't want it to be a WWE wrestler. That's because he wants you to watch AEW and listen to his review more than listen to this. Don't fall for that trap. Don't fall for that at all. You go ahead and tweet this out. I did Joey Ryan when I did it. I can't win, though, so that doesn't matter. Tweet this out and go ahead and use an NXT wrestler. Maybe Cameron Grimes. That's kind of a new guy. But at your favorite wrestler, and automatically that entry to win 2 shirts goes to 3 shirts, and you'll also get another entrance in the contest. So really, really a cool way to win this. Please, by all means, go to Twitter, tweet this episode, any of our other episodes as well, preferably the NXT reviews or shows that I do, because you love DAV, right? Put those out there in the Twitterverse. Help us grow our market, and we will help you grow your wardrobe. That's what we'll do. I like that. Help us grow our market. We'll help you grow your wardrobe. Anyway, I don't remember if right after this is what promo came. I want to say that this was the Gargano family dinner. I love Dinner with the Garganos. Love Dinner with the Garganos. I know there's been a ton of people who've talked about the Montreal Mayhem or Montreal Melee. Cool thing, but it's a one-time setup. This is a weekly thing, and they are doing a great job with this. I am creeped out by the cup on the table, but at least it has a vase over it. I love the little segues into we're setting this up. So it looks like we're going to have Gargano versus Keith Lee. That's going to be fun. It looks like we're going to have Mia Yim versus Candice LeRae, so we're going to have the couples match. We might even get a mixed match tag here. I don't know. That'd be kind of fun. But I love that segment. And if that's what was right after this, it's either that or NXT announcing that they're going to be in your house, 25th anniversary. I'll get into that because I do actually have some opinions on that. But I love this segment, and I love the transition, and I love the almost schizophrenic feel to these segments. The paranoid schizophrenic, it's just it's a good feel without going too far. Like the switch, just the switch goes off in their head during these, and I love it. This is way better than A Moment of Bliss. This is way better than the KO show. This is way better than Miz TV. And it's off-site, and I like that. It builds feuds, and it tells a story, and you kind of fall in or out of love, however you want to say that, with the characters. This is working right now, so got to give them that. I'm still annoyed by the Walter Balor thing. Sorry. We get into the second of the matches. This is why I think that you're not going to have an 0-3 there. So this is why I think that Tozawa wins this outright. We got Gallagher versus Isaiah Scott. Gallacher looks... I'm going to say Gallagher. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too American for this. Gallagher looks really good in this match. He takes on Swerve Scott. Apparently, and I must have missed this, but I had to rewatch it. Swerve gets attacked by Tony Nese. And I think this is just setting up Nese versus bottom to say, hey, look at us, which is fine. Gallagher, when Swerve gets into the match, Gallagher gets the upper hand, kind of beats on him, cranks on him. There's a lot of hitting him in the right spots and strikes and everything. There was a really, really cool guillotine choke out of this. Really cool, where he just jumped up and fell back. That was phenomenal on this one. But in the end, Gallagher gets it with the discus kick or discus punch. Sorry. I personally am not a huge fan of the early attacks, but it does give a reason for Swerve not to go 2-1, which I guess opens up the door for 1-1 or 1-2, 1-2, and 2-1, and 2-1. If there's an upset, it sells value to next week's match, which I like. I just don't understand. I think you have to go either 3, 4, or 6 in that final. And I don't see, obviously, we're at a point now where we have 1-2, 1-2. I think it's 1-2, 1-2 in that division, and then Tozawa and Phantasma. Phantasma's 1-1 still, and Tozawa's 2-0. I think you get an unbeaten Tozawa there, and I think you get 3 from the other side, and that gives you 4 in this. So that's what I think happens. I don't know. Maybe you have 5. Because it's reasonable to think, but it also helps Gallagher look like more of a stud. This will be, as I said, the worst week of the Cruiserweight tournament. It's just not fun. Next we get Caden Carter and Aaliyah, and I'm counting on seeing Xia Li again. I'm jacked for it. I'm pumped. I don't get it. So Aaliyah's going to interfere with Xia Li, but Xia Li's just going to let it happen? Like, not okay. Caden Carter versus Aaliyah in this match. I'll say it. My give a damn was really busted on this match when Xia Li didn't come out. I did get a little bit excited that Robert Stone came out. I don't necessarily think that Aaliyah is anywhere near the level of talent that Chelsea Green is. I love Chelsea Green. I love her with Robert Stone. Aaliyah tries to get a little bit showy here. It actually ends up being technically a good match until Robert Stone comes out. There's just no story getting told. There's no Xia Li coming out. There is Robert Stone coming out. Caden Carter doesn't do much of a storytelling anyways. They haven't created much of a character for her yet. They will, and I think eventually she's there. Technically, this is a really sound match. And then at the end of this match, Aaliyah's trying to get a little bit more showboaty. She goes up to the second rope, looks back, looks at Robert Stone, goes up to the third rope. At that point, Caden Carter jumps up, knocks her down. Caden Carter picks up the win. I don't know. She applied a submission for the win. I'm not a fan of Aaliyah. She doesn't sell me on anything. This Robert Stone looking for another person is a really cool little thing. This could get really, really cool. This could be women's tag titles landing in NXT. Which is a really good way to elevate some really good talent in that women's roster. This could be. I think there's a lot to do here. I think it elevates Robert Stone as a manager. We may see him take on a male competitor at some point. I just think that there's There's some really good sides to this Robert Stone setup. I went into this match expecting worse than I got. I went into this match expecting something different than I got. I was upset that I got something different than I got. When Robert Stone showed up, I was okay with getting something different than I got. And when I rewatched it, I think I got better than I was expecting. But it's by pencil shavings. I really, really am expecting more Xia Li, Aaliyah. I really want Aaliyah's nose broken again. Even kayfabe, not like real broken, but kayfabe again. There needs to be some type of Xia Li just dominance of Aaliyah that just kind of makes her puppy dog cower into a corner. Or she joins up with Robert Stone and Xia Li takes the big butt kicking because of, dirty tactics or whatever. I don't like that idea because I think Xia Li is less than 6 months away from being a women's championship contender. And I know that there are people out there who will disagree, at which point they should go ahead and at me, at DA Vincent Kayfabe, and tell me I'm an idiot. But hey, while you're doing it, go ahead and hashtag this episode and share it and tell me how much I'm an idiot, at DA Vincent Kayfabe. You can also at another wrestler. See, I did it twice. Okay, that's enough in the middle promos. I don't know. I wasn't in love with this. After this, I'm 100% sure after this is where we get those two promos might be mixed up. I don't know. But I think this is where we get Triple H and HBK talking about the fact that NXT is bringing back the In Your House pay-per-view as part of NXT TakeOver. I like this. The problem is it's a 25-year-old pay-per-view that they're bringing back. That's not the horrible problem. When you're celebrating a 25-year-old pay-per-view, you have to remember everything about it. They gave away a house at that first pay-per-view, at the first In Your House. And I think the first 2 or 3. It was their separate segment pay-per-view. There was only so many years that it ran, but I think the first 2 or 3 of them, they gave away a house. And I know the first one they did. They gave a house to a fan, to a member of the WWE Universe. I think they said fan back then because it was 25 years ago and they didn't say Universe and all that stuff. I think that's probably an appropriate throwback here. I really do. In terms of the segment itself, it was a really good segment. They talked about HBK had a match with Jeff Jarrett. Road Dogg was there, so he talked about his match at that In Your House. It was his first match as a singles competitor. And now, mind you, this is while he's still roadieing for Jeff Jarrett. That's how long ago this is. Triple H had a match with Henry Godwinn. There's some funny segments to this. It really is. I don't know how excited I am about In Your House. I think if you're going to do a throwback, though, you got to do throwback all of it. And giving away a house, what do you do? $50,000 house, $100,000. You don't have to give away anything. It's fantastic. Depending on where you're doing it at, you do it in a place with a really crappy market and choose something kind of mid-market. One of the things that I'll say when I watch House Hunters with people, I'm not going to go too in depth there, but when I watch House Hunters with people, every time they're in Atlanta, I'm just like, I could buy that house. That house is in the place where I live in Nebraska, is a $3 to $4 million house, and they're selling it for like $125 in Atlanta. So, just go up to Atlanta and do it for that show or whatever. Give away the house in Atlanta, even though you're there. That's the only thing I would say. Other than that, I I love this whole segment. They talked about how Road Dogg was under the desk, which I think is hilarious. Yeah, just the whole thing was really, really decent there. I've been looking for grills, and I started looking online at them today. Every ad I look at is for a grill, just for future reference. Me plugging stuff on this show, hashtag still not sponsored, hashtag Raw and Order WBU, hashtag share this episode, hashtag at your favorite wrestler, is less annoying promo than having to look at the thing that you searched in Google for one time. Just saying. So now we get to the main event. That is a refreshing of what happened earlier. Thatcher versus Riddle. This is, to quote JR, this is a slobber knocker. This is a great match. Riddle wants revenge. Thatcher wants to stop being annoyed by a annoying guy. This is a good match. There was no serious control anytime. There is a couple times that Thatcher towards the end took complete control of this match, and he did it by doing what most of us considered the obvious move when Riddle started wrestling, and that was stomped on Riddle's foot. He stomped on his bare foot right there in the ring. And then he, starts working into his submission stuff, working on the back, working on the arm, working on the arm bars, working on the leg. There's a point where they roll from submission to submission. There's a point where Thatcher puts in a knee bar, poorly, and Riddle's kicking and hitting and trying to get out of it and everything. And Thatcher's, there's just a lot of movement in this. This is, there's a lot here, and this could be really good matches. This needs to continue. It needs to continue with backstage attacks. It needs to continue with working their way through maybe 2 to 3 pay-per-views instead of just one. It needs to continue with Pete Dunne coming back, the Cruiserweight coming back. Cruiserweight, wow. I've got to get that out of my head. The Cruiserweight coming back and joining up with Thatcher and attacking Riddle and a mystery opponent. I mean, the whole thing can just sequence over and over and over. They hit suplexes. They did everything. I mean, this can sequence through 3 to 4 months, and it can certainly sequence through COVID-19. This is a good set, and I didn't realize how good it was going to be until it happened. The reason I call this the worst Matt Riddle win of all time, or best Matt Riddle win of all time, is because he got his ass handed to him throughout this match. But it was a very, very good match. Well worth the watch. I am not going to ruin this for you. They can build a lot here. This might be a takeover in your house where they won't be giving away your house, which is sad. Again, I'm not saying that they should or shouldn't. It's just, if you're going to do a throwback to the whole thing. Especially when there's something as big as giving away a house. So as you guys know, I don't grade at all promos, but I only talked about the 2 I liked. There was a bunch of others in there, I'm sure. If we go back to the beginning, I'm going to go ahead and look at this. First match, Matt Riddle lost. So, that starts it at a 10, and then it works its way down. We didn't get enough of Tim Thatcher, and I don't like cheesy losses. But I love Imperium, so this is going to get 9 convictions. This is a reasonable match at 8. If I had to call it reasonable, then it's 8. It's a very good opener. It has some hype to it. Anytime you have Imperium involved, there's going to be hype. Yeah, I'm not disappointed with this. Second match, Indy Hartwell versus Tegan Knox. It's a squash. I mean, squashes start at 5s. Because I like Tegan, it moves up to a 6. I think it stays there. The promo right after it, where we get some Dakota Kai teasing that the more with Tegan maybe. Because we get that, I'm leaving it at a 6. So, because it did feed a match that already happened, which was nice. Tony Nese, Jake Atlas. Again, Atlas is growing on me. I don't love him still. I don't know. Nese can really play this 0-3 start, though, to be the reason for more heelish work. And the longer they keep Drake Maverick, who can consult him and teach him a little something, the better it is for WWE. Because Drake Maverick understands heel work. So, Rockstar Spud, I'm lobbying for your job. You have a lot to teach these guys. Could be fun. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I have to give that a rating. We knew Nese was going to lose. We knew if he did get the win, it was going to be just create 2 obsolete guys. I think we ended up just getting 1 in the tournament. So the problem is there's just not a lot of stakes at this point. So I guess you have to say that it's the result was right. The stakes are tough to keep in a round robin tournament, especially when a dude's already mathematically eliminated. Yeah, if it doesn't build Nese's heel work, then it probably wasn't worth doing. You could probably just have Nese walk out of the ring and say, I'm not having this match. I can't even win the tournament. Type thing. Maybe a little more of a temper tantrum. Finn Balor, Cameron Grimes. This did not go long enough. If I'm going to give it a score, I have to give it a score. It did develop both of the characters, so I'm going to have to give it a score of an 8. But that's independently taking the match, because the storyline sucks right now with Finn Balor, because a whole lot of people bought in to the Walter thing, and we're not getting Walter for quite some time. So for that reason, I'm a little pissed off about it. But Grimes was elevated out of it. Balor wasn't hurt out of it in terms of where people see him. Yeah, I'll give it to you. It's 7 to 8, somewhere in there on the convictions. Gallagher versus Isaiah Scott told way more story than the negative that there is, and for that reason, I think this has probably got more value. It's still, in terms of the tournament, I'm 100% positive it's a throwaway match, because they're now both 1-1 or 1-2. Because they're both 1-2, I think you have to end up using this as a throwaway match. But we elevated Jack Gallagher, and everybody likes Jack Gallagher. We elevated Isaiah Scott. Everybody likes Isaiah Scott. And we built a future feud. So none of those are worth being depressed about. Caden Carter versus Aaliyah. You already heard my opinion. I don't think there were any stakes here. I really don't. And I was glad they made some stakes, but this could have just been a match, and Xia Li came out and knocked Aaliyah out again. Instead, I think they tried a little too hard to make stakes here. I don't know what's going to happen here. Robert Stone picks up another woman. There's going to be a reduction to the value of the Robert Stone Enterprise. I don't know. This has a lot of question marks around it. 3.5 convictions. Because though the match was decent and they both look technical, I have you're not going to sell me on this storyline until Robert Stone picks up somebody else. So that's where I'm at. And Riddle and Thatcher, This match is a 10. I mean, this match is lights out. It tells a story. It's a good match. If you could have made this an Iron Man match, or if it becomes an Iron Man match, I think I am so sold on this feud right now. And I am ready to watch Matt Riddle just get his ass handed to him by Thatcher. There's a lot you can do with this. Oh, by the way, I should mention that Thatcher attacks Riddle after the fact, twice with his that armbar called. Anyway, with his reverse armbar, and it just looks vicious. Like this feud could go places. This feud could go the places that I expected Dijak and Keith Lee to go, where it did go there, but it didn't keep going there. I don't know. This was really, really good. And I'm really, really excited to see Big Man versus Gargano later on. So when this happens, it's going to be great. I forgot there is one more promo. We got a Karrion Kross promo. It was okay. But he didn't perform tonight, so I don't have to make fun of that. Again, as a whole, like I said, that main event got a 10, but as a whole, the show is not the best it's been for a while. The lack of stakes in the Cruiserweight division tournament, I really expected to see Jake Atlas lose here. So I guess we're probably most likely going to have a 4-man tournament, a fatal 4-way, which is fine. I just was expecting a 3-person. So Jake Atlas is going to be in the title final, unless it's just Tozawa versus Kushida, which I think would suck. There's way too many other stories to tell here. So, especially turning Atlas heel maybe could happen there with him attacking. Oh, I'm the biggest fan of Drake Maverick. I'm a huge Drake Maverick fan. Yeah. And then just ruining it for Drake Maverick over and over and over again in that match. That would be cool. So, the show as a whole gets a 6. I mean, it's not great. Raw was better. This is the first time I'll ever I've said that since we've been doing these. Raw was better. I think we need a little more storytelling. I think this was a setup storytelling show. It's what you expect to see halfway between two pay-per-views. And so I'm not disappointed in it. I'm glad I watched it. But I'm going to give it a 6. And that's the end of that. Just a reminder, Raw and Order WBU, Raw and Order Snap Judgments, Raw and Order FBI all go on throughout the week. The Snap Judgments, there are 4 shows of that. There's 1 WBU. There is 1 FBI. You get a whole bunch of Raw and Order throughout the week. 6 episodes per week. Please visit us and our partners at TattnessCo.com. We are part of the TattnessCo Podcast Network. You can go listen to Nyla Rose talk about RPGs. How fun is that? In the Dicebox Slam on that one. You can listen to Tattness talk about his MMA career. A lot of fun there. We had a blast talking with him several weeks ago. I'd love to do it again. Maybe we can even invite him on for the next shirt giveaway. Just a reminder that the shirt giveaway is a continuation of the previous one. Our winner, Kevin, still gets to keep his previous shirt. But we're giving away more shirts. And the reason we're giving away more shirts is because we messed up and we didn't get our podcast out soon enough. So we're giving you more time to do this. We're also going to include Kevin's other entries and all the other entries in the other one. So we're going to really ramp this up. We want to see you guys tag your favorite pro wrestler. We want to see you guys use the hashtag Raw and Order WBU and share these podcasts. These are a lot of fun. We love doing them for you guys. And we're glad that you guys are listening. We want to thank you, most importantly with this, for helping us grow exponentially over the last month and a half. It's been amazing. We really want to thank those of you who've been listening since August when we started. You guys are the lifeblood of this, and we're just happy to get more lifeblood here. So thank you to everyone who listened to the Raw and Order podcast, and a very special thank you to those who will tweet this out and tag their favorite wrestler in it. So I think that's all the rules I'm supposed to cover. Smarks likes to give us all rules, and he is the rules. I'm Smarks, and I'm the podcast host, and it's mine. It's not yours, dude. It's not yours. It's these fans' podcast, man. They're the ones who love listening to it. That's right, I'm calling you out right here, live, on this podcast. Again, I'm calling you out so hard, I want to do a prediction show. Oh, yeah. Prediction show. Head to head. You and me. Yeah? What do you say? Huh, Smarks? You up for a head to head? You up for a contest? I'm calling you out, Smarks. Anyway, I am DA Vincent Kayfabe. Thank you for listening to Snap Judgments for NXT May 13th, 2020. It is a pleasure recording these for you guys. Someday we hope to meet some of you live. Anyway, make sure you should like, share, subscribe, do all the things that you're supposed to do. Smarks will kill me if I don't say doobly-doo, so I'm going to say doobly-doos. I don't really know what a doobly-doo is, and other than an annoying statement. But most important, like, share, subscribe, share with a hashtag Raw and Order WBU. You'll be entered into the contest. And make sure to @ your favorite wrestler. And the reason I say @ your favorite wrestler is because then you get 3 shirts. And you get a bonus entry. So hitting @ and doing, I don't know, @ Joey Ryan like I did, @ Cody Rhodes. Maybe you want Darby Allin. Maybe you want somebody a little more non-domestic, like, I don't know, Will Ospreay. Maybe you want somebody from New Japan, maybe Anderson or Gallows, you take your pick. Maybe you want somebody who just got fired. Maybe you want somebody who got fired and still working in Drake Maverick, but you're going to have to go Rockstar Spud there. Maybe you want Mike and Maria, maybe you want to support their baby. That's a fun thing to do. Maybe you want Charles Robinson, who's been a ref forever. I bet he's got shirts out there. Whoever you choose to do that with, like, share, subscribe, hashtag Raw and Order WBU, @ your favorite wrestler. Maybe Charles Robinson's the way to go. Anyway, thank you for listening. Snap Judgments NXT May 13th, 2020. We will catch you guys on SmackDown review 2 nights from now, SmackDown, so probably Saturday mornings when that's going to upload. Thank you again to all of our fans. Keep listening. Keep showing love. Thank you. Bye.